A producer on 28 Years Later has opened up and given more details on the upcoming sequel to the horror classic. The new installment in the series, set to release later this year, will see the return of Danny Boyle, who directed 28 Days Later but did not come back for 28 weeks. The trailer rocked the internet, introducing the Aaron Taylor Johnson-led horror. Taylor Johnson is confirmed to be joined in the cast by Ralph Fiennes, Jack O'Connell, and Jodie Comer. The biggest talking point from the trailer was an emaciated zombie who many thought was Cillian Murphy's Jim from 28 Days Later. The trailer was also littered with references to Jim, with his name carved into one man's back and also being written on a wall. Despite this, fans were surprised to hear that the zombie in question was not actually Jim, but an extra. Now, however, the producer has given a detail that will crush fans as they reveal that Cillian Murphy isn't in 28 Years Later at all. Speaking to Empire magazine, Andrew McDonald confirmed that anyone hoping for Jim to pop up will be disappointed. He did state, however, that with 28 Years Later being a trilogy, it wasn't impossible that Murphy could pop up. Murphy is, after all, not set to return in 28 Years Later, and this was just an unfortunate lookalike, Sony. He said, "On this, we wanted him to be involved, and he wanted to be involved. He is not in the first film, but I'm hoping there will be some Jim somewhere along the line. He's involved at the moment as an executive producer, and I would hope we can work with him in some way in the future in the trilogy." The planned sequel to 28 Years Later, which will set up a trilogy, 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple, was directed by Candyman director Nia DaCosta. Filming for the first two of the trilogy was done back-to-back, and leaked set pictures showed Murphy on set in the Lake District, with a film crew linked to either 28 Years Later or The Bone Temple. Could McDonald be telling Porky's? Despite the extra's stunning similarity to Murphy, if he were a zombie, director Danny Boyle was shocked that people thought it was him in the trailer. Boyle said to Empire, "I showed my girlfriend the trailer and she said, 'People will think that's Cillian.' I said, 'Don't be silly.' I ignored her. So I've eaten a bit of humble pie since." Fans, however, don't seem too convinced he's not in the film. One tweeted in response to the news, "This makes no sense, he was literally seen on set. Unless they're trying to pull a Spider-Man No Way Home thing where they try to hide his appearance as much as possible and keep denying it." Another said, "He was spotted filming for the sequel, but I still think he's gonna cameo in 28 Years Later. I'm not taking their word for it, lol." A third replied saying, "Oh no, that sucks, he's definitely in the movie."